Dr. Block. This is my submission for the presentation portion of the Capstone Systems Change project. So I'll walk you through the PowerPoint presentation that I made. So, necessary information. I am focusing on a school which is called Santa Monica High School within Santa Monica Malibu Unified School District. They have about 3,000 students for this school year, and the demographics are broken down for you there. Predominantly Latino and Caucasian or Middle Eastern. There's a lot of first-gen students, first-generation American, as well as first-gen college students. And about 76% of the students receive free and reduced lunch. And even have breakfast in the classroom is what it's called. There's 161 certificated staff members. That is broken down into 10 support advisors, 3 college counselors, 7 administrators, and 3 school psychologists. And the student-teacher ratio, it would be maxed out at 35:1. There's a couple different programs that are offered. Firstly is the immersion program. This is for a dual language environment, so students are taking some of their core classes like English language and social studies with Spanish, so fully Spanish environment. And it allows them to, utilize that dual language capacity and further, learn English or learn Spanish, either or. AVID is a program for first-generation college students. They really stress the Cornell notes, how to take tests properly, studying skills, note-taking skills, etc. Project Lead the Way allows students to take a variety of different courses like engineering, marketing, business, entrepreneurship, and they actually are allowed to take college courses at Santa Monica City College, which is a community college, or even UCLA. And when these students graduate, they will be graduating with college credit, which is pretty cool. So here are the 3 concrete changes that I wanted to discuss in my paper. So firstly, wanted to have 78% of the student body meeting all the A through G requirements, which is currently at 62%. Secondly, I wanted by winter break 2021 for the lowest test scores to increase by 28%. That's a lot of that is produced by the lower income and by certain demographics. So definitely want to see higher achievement and to kind of close the achievement gap in that capacity. And lastly, to decrease anxiety and stress throughout my capstone, I cite the growing number of anxiety-ridden students and how that's just taking up too much time at a counselor's day, and there's really needs to be a little bit more of a change in that area. So definitely want to decrease the kind of day-to-day visits to the counselors strictly for anxiety. So how are we going to do this? The solution I came up with was an 8-week academic and social emotional group counseling sessions. So these will be held during elective classes, so there's no need for counselors to stay after school or anything like that. Elective classes being like orchestra or art or engineering or, a variety of those types of classes. So wouldn't be pulling them out of any of their core classes like math or English. We're also going to include a parent workshop that will be held prior to the 8-week session starting, just to give an introduction to the parents as to what this is. Again, it's going to be for kind of the underachieved and really low producing academic students, as well as the really high needs in terms of social emotional kids. And we will utilize things like the Brigman Student Success, Big Brother, Big Sister, which is kind of like a pairing nonprofit that allows older students, maybe seniors, to kind of get paired up with freshmen that have perhaps gone through similar life changes like divorce or experiencing like suicidal thoughts or just moving to a new school or just anxiety in general. So kind of just pairing them up with somebody that's a little bit elder and can be kind of that mentor for them. And then also a journey to mindfulness, which is a scholarly sort of research on mindfulness that was instituted and kind of pull some of those ideas for this program, and I mentioned that in my paper. And then implementation. So to kind of understand exactly what these needs are, the students were assessed, and basically the goal was to meet the ASCA standards for categories 1 and 2. So students were assessed via survey, also parents and stakeholders, faculty were assessed via survey, via interview, and via focus groups. And the great thing, as I mentioned before, is that there's no funding required. So we're not going to have to ask the district for some astronomical budget. Again, they're going to be pulled out of their elective classes, and there's really no other documents or materials that are needed. Anything that we do need for the mindfulness group will be we will be accruing those funds through fundraising activities, so we won't need to go to the district and ask for any additional funds. And then lastly, so the impact. As we know, counselors really have a strong impact on academic, career, and social emotional well-being, and it's the goal to positively affect change and impact these Santa Monica High School students to meet the A through G requirements, improve their test scores, and also reduce anxiety. I think it's really important with any sort of budget cuts or just with any work that we do as counselors to document all of this and to share it with the district on a micro level, sharing it with our principal and other faculty members on our school site so they can really see the data and the work that we've done and the results that we've achieved, and then also on a more macro level, sharing it with the district wide so other counselors can perhaps put something together like this, or they're just aware of the work that we do as counselors. So thank you, Professor.